Get back, watch it turn to a singer. Get to fighting like this Jerry Springer. All of my zip the back that like a pogo. No do these they popo. Had a G-Wagon truck turned to Rojo. Find a cable 2 wheels and they on ride down to Soho. One was black and the other was Mexican. Had a like a pollo. Younger than you with a Maybach. Younger than you with a Bentley. From the got in the gently. Ain't being friends with these when I was down out of so had sympathy. But that's how I go when you broke. Now I'm out like mistletoe. This my own. Not gonna lost on these new clones. Then she asked for a loan. Had to laugh, then I told her get gone. Gon' get that me on. Ain't no give me not a thing. So I spend 90K on my range. You can see.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, California. Ahead, we'll decide the second entrant to next week's NFC title game as we've got a great one in store between the Atlanta Falcons and the Los Angeles Rams. Who will punch the fourth and final ticket to the conference championship round? We'll know soon enough as we are underway here on a January afternoon.
Let's go. Space.
On 1st and 10, it's Ryan. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And nearly picked off. Surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away. But it does get away and it's second down. Line of scrimmage, again the 25, 2nd and 10. Second and 10 now, Ryan. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones, his intended receiver. 3rd down here.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. So now an early 3rd and 10 here on their opening drive. From the gun, it's Ryan. And incomplete here on 3rd down. They were trying to liven up this playoff game very early on. Pretty deep throw, but good coverage.
I think they were counting on the defenders being a little tight, a little over-anxious early, and trying to catch them flat-footed and get a big play.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now the first carry here for Todd Gurley. And nothing doing on his first run. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Well, there was no blitz. That was just a draw play that, to be frank, didn't fool anybody.
Did we hear the entire stadium screaming draw? Because it felt like everybody was all over that play, and the defense won that battle.
Call it about a gain of 3, and they'll be looking at a 3rd and 7 coming up. Off the play fake. McCoy. It's hauled in by Brandon Cooks. Fights through, and now a crease. Well, that's good for a first down. There's a guy who went over 1,000 yards receiving in the regular season, and now he's got his first catch of the playoffs. On first down, it's Gurley. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tucker roll that they can fall back on anymore.
And off the crossbar, no good. A sensational effort from that distance, but rejected by the bar. And this will remain a scoreless game. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. He missed on his first 3 passes, was 0 for 3. Now gets a connection. Maybe that'll get him going.
Yeah, it wasn't a time for panic, but there was some concern because once you start in a certain pattern, you're wondering, can you get out of it? And that flips the other way, too, when you're throwing it really well. In this case, now he's got his first completion. They think he might be off to the races.
7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice gain right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
On second down, Freeman. It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? Second and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy first down conversion. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. And now the Rams are going to halt things as they want a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. On third down, Devontae Freeman. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. Relatively small sample size, but that's his longest run of the first quarter. Bounced it out to the outside to make it successful.
And to get there, you actually need some help. It's not just your pure speed getting to the corner, making sure that the blocking is taken care of inside so the pursuit doesn't get you. And oftentimes, those wide receivers, tight ends that might be flexed out, they've got to control the edge and make sure no one from the outside can spill the play before he gets there.
And perhaps now close to the first points of this divisional round game as it's first and goal. They'll run here with Freeman. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
Play clock down to 3, and we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Second and goal, and the lone man in the backfield is Freeman. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They get 3 yards closer, but still work to do. It's third and goal.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, it's the Falcons in possession to begin quarter number 2, and they'll come up looking to keep this drive moving.
Hey, let's go. 21.
They'll try and run. Freeman. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
There are certain drives in a game where anything less than a touchdown that caps it feels like an absolute disappointment. This is one of those drives.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the Falcons are out to a 3-0 advantage. So the field goal there caps what winds up to be an 11-play drive.
Well, partner, that's a lot of offense to run there to only get 3 points. So I just wonder, are they going to recycle those plays because they were successful in getting 3? Or do you go to another section of the playbook trying to find ones that get you into the end zone and get you 6?
Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. And the last go-around for them, they tried that really, really long field goal, couldn't connect.
And in retrospect, I think a lot of people would say, well, why would you try one that long? You hurt yourself in field position. The ball comes out, there. That only helps the other team. But I look at it as maybe it's a double shot of confidence. Confident the kicker could make it. And even if he missed, confident in their defense that they can hold him.
Gurley again here on first down. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time. The safety, Keanu Neal, there to make the tackle.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll give him 8 on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1.
Well, it's tough to be a defender in today's NFL because there's so many things to account for in today's passing game, including the back sneaking out of the backfield. Not quite as bad as a turkey bowl where you have the center-eligible stuff, but still a lot of guys to account for.
A good pickup there at 22. Throwing on first down, McCoy. That's going to be caught. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Brandon Cooks, 27 yards, and the Rams are in for 6. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. This fielded at the 2. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
Now it's Ryan. He finds a man on a crossing route. Just 3 catches in the wild card victory for him a week ago, and now he's got his first here, and it's good for a first down.
I know we just saw a nice throwing catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now it's Ryan. He's going to float this one deep right side. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
I know exactly why he tried to throw the ball to Julio Jones there. He's never considered cover. He's either too fast or too strong. You always try and get it to him.
Especially on those deep passes. On 3rd down, Ryan. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Trying to disrupt Julio Jones there, the intended target. A little too close, got the flag thrown.
I'm not sure anyone can cover Julio Jones one-on-one for very long without getting their share of pass interference calls. His size, his speed, his physicality makes it almost impossible to do.
Get up!
After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Hey, wait. Hey, South! Hey, back 25! Get up! Get up!
On 2nd down, Ryan. He goes underneath to Freeman. And they go the wrong way here. Knocked back to the 20.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage even though they completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Here's Ryan to throw. And he overshot him there. It's out of bounds, incomplete. Well, too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
Yeah, really turned it loose, didn't he? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they'll get it back within a point at 7-6. No problems in the field goal department so far. He's 2 for 2.
Pretty reliable here in this game, isn't he? And to me, that bodes well for them. If they need him late in the game, his confidence should be sky high.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. And the Rams getting set to go now. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Did they stick with that?
Here we go now.
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Off play action. McCoy. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, we always talk about how you've got to be quick when you go through your progressions, and here's another prime example. Trying to look downfield, he was standing in the pocket, but just couldn't find anyone open, could he?
No, not enough time. They hit him and forced that incompletion. The Rams on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Here's McCoy. And McCoy loses the football. And the Falcons say they have it. They do.
With no running backs in the backfield to help pass protect, all the receivers in their patterns, it's going to be hot routes. If they sense a blitz or pressure on the quarterback, they've got to be prepared to break routes off early and get the football. In this case, never even had a chance. They popped the ball free in the backfield.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. They'll get this down inside the 10 for a pickup of about 3.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
Two minutes to play here in the first half. Back with more NFC playoff action after this. And now a 10th carry for Freeman. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
Now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. Ryan on the handoff. It's Freeman. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal. Looking at this now, you got a couple more cracks here this close. Sneak it.
I don't think you even go into a huddle. Just line up, snap it, and fall in behind those guys into the end zone.
He'll get it up the middle, and he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty. 1st and goal. They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. And he will take it in for a Falcon touchdown. In for the score. And the Falcons are in for 6.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet, or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals. Before this one, they finally were able to put into the end zone.
Well, whatever he did, speaking of the offensive coordinator, might be using that formula going forward. It worked there.
Yeah, it worked very well. He and his field general in pretty good sync right now. They're starting to move the ball well.
So now here are the Rams as their offense comes back out. And last time, not only the turnover, but that turned into 6 points. They got to make up for that here.
We always hear about empty possessions, but some are worse than others. You can have an empty possession, pump the ball away, get yourself set to play defense, but when you turn it over, it changes momentum, and when they take it downfield and punch it in on you, that's a bad possession all the way around.
Yeah, but you're hungry to get back out there, aren't you?
You better be, because otherwise, it's going to be a long day for you.
Detroit!
Now they'll pitch it back to Gurley. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom, quick, and what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Detroit!
Looking to throw on 2nd down. McCoy, he'll throw underneath for Gurley. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. And the Falcons going to use another timeout, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in half number 1. On is the punter, Hecker, as he gets this one away. Taken in at the 11. Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. Now the Falcons offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that can change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
Ryan looking deep for Julio. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
Well, partner, they're not content to run this one out as we head towards the half, trying to hit a big chunk play right there and add to their score.
Yeah, this is a confident group. At the very least, they're thinking field goal.
Yeah, and I don't blame them one bit. I don't think you sit on the ball going into the half when you have a chance to put some more points on the board.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Ryan. He's going to float this one deep right side. Looking for Jones, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Obi Melifonwu. That late in the clock, 2nd quarter, why not just run it a time or two and get it into the locker room?
What you're saying makes absolutely perfect sense. Run it and get out of there. But I'm just wondering if the pressure of today's NFL and the high-powered offenses that you're facing may have forced them into saying, let's try and get some more points.
Now McCoy. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Now before this 2nd down play, we'll get whistles and a timeout, as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. On the handoff, it's Gurley. And down he'll go at the 25. That'll be a gain of 15 yards, and that'll bring up a 3rd down. A final shot before break. McCoy flushed out right. Throw complete right side to Cooks. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. And okay, so much for our halftime break. Apparently we're going to get right back to it. A trip to the NFC title game hanging in the balance. 2nd half action back underway. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Rams offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasize
into a double team, and it's intercepted. It's Desmond Trufant, and he will return this one to the 30-yard line. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a 2nd half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They'll try to get the ground game going with Freeman. And Freeman lost the football. And now the Rams have got it, going the other way. And he'll return this one just shy of midfield to the 49.
The psychology of the game never ceases to amaze me, because you would think there would never be a fumble from what we hear from coaches all the time, right?
And how much they practice not fumbling.
Practice it, preach it, talk about it all the time. You would think no one would ever turn it over. Yet they are humans out there running around, and we just saw another one.
Opportunistic by the defense. And he's going to be brought down inside the 45 at the 43. 9 yards is the pick up there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. To throw on 2nd down. McCoy out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Call it a gain of 7, and it gets him a new set of downs.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass. Looked like it was coming together. Looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Clearly wasn't outside of the tackle box. There's your penalty.
And accompanying that penalty, a loss of down.
They lose the yardage, and, of course, they also lose the down on the grounding call, and it's quickly 2nd and long.
Detroit! 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 Detroit!
Looking to throw. McCoy Dumps it off to Gurley. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They'll give him a yard on the play, and they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Check. Patriot!
On 3rd down, they'll run it with Gurley. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. A good pickup there, 7 yards, but it brings up 4th down. And now a timeout defensively by the Falcons. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. So 4th and 15, but the offense is staying out there to go for it. And now before they run this 4th down play, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. Here's Johnny Hekker now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at the 20. The drive will start with a carry by Devontae Freeman. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Tackle made there by Trayvon Howard.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Here's a 2nd and 5 now from the 25. Again, they'll run with Freeman. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. The Falcons on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 7.
21. Hey, let's go.
Out of the gun, it's Ryan. It's caught. Jones. A big gain of 31 on 3rd down. So the defense blitzed. A nice job picking that up, completing the pass.
And how in sync was the quarterback and his center on that play? They saw the blitz, made the appropriate calls, got the line engaged because now they know there are going to be extra guys coming at the quarterback, so they got their assignments down pat and kept them away from him, and he's able to step up in the pocket and fire one now for a really good strike.
Now Freeman, he's been busy today. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. 25 yards to pick up there, and also a first down.
I know that play went to the left side, and that's what it was designed to do, an outside handoff there. But how about the whole offensive line being involved? Seal the left side where the play was going, what they call play side. But how about on the back side? Just taking care of business to make sure no one can get there and disrupt it.
Is the biggest key the left tackle?
Without a doubt. Control that edge. Get out there. You want that left tackle. If you bring your tight end over there, either way, control the edge of the line of scrimmage, you got a chance to rumble.
12 more yards there and another first down.
21.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll go again here from the 10-yard line on 2nd and goal. They get it to him running left. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. The Falcons on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and goal. Back now in Los Angeles. It's the Falcons. They've got the football. They've got the lead as we get set to start the 4th. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play. 3rd and goal. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
4th down, ball's at the 1-yard line. Do you go for it, or do you go ahead and kick a field goal? I think because you're going to end up giving a long field, even if you don't score, I put my trust in my defense. I go for it and try and get the points.
So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His 3rd field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
This is taken at the 3. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him. All right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's something that there got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got a jump here. A free 5 yards as the defense jumps.
I know it's an anticipation game for them, but it's also a reaction game, and they reacted poorly on that one.
So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10.
Back 99 Philly, here we go. Gone, 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 gone. Gone, 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 gone.
From the gun, McCoy. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. Call it a pickup of 7, and that'll make it a 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling him almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They'll get this complete to the Notre Dame man, Equinemius St. Brown. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a 1st down as well. But correct me if I'm wrong, you're down 2 scores. I don't think you need to rush just yet, but you can't take your time either.
Yeah, even if you don't want to commit to full 2-minute offense, you have to up the tempo, up the urgency. Maybe you're starting to call 2 plays in a huddle each time you snap the ball.
Back to throw. McCoy. Wide open receiver complete. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That one goes for 24 yards. They go play action here on 1st down. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
What's the old adage, be quick but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Dancing to his left. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
No, check.
On the toss, it's Gurley. And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Todd Gurley, a 12-yard touchdown run. And the Rams are able to get back within a touchdown. A little surprising they wouldn't go for 2, but this is up and good. And the lead is down to 2. Gonzalez now to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here comes the Falcon offense now as they get set to take over here. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. Remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough 1st downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Freeman again, a 1st down carry. And unable to get downhill there as he'll take this up to about the 37. And the Rams are going to go ahead and take another timeout. That's going to be their 2nd. They'll be left with 1 more plus the 2-minute warning. And we'll be back.
Right
Now the pitch to Freeman. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here. So that will leave them with no timeouts left. Still plenty of time on the clock. We'll see how that affects things here in this fourth quarter. One of the bigger plays in the game thus far, and the crowd getting into it as we come up on a big third down. From the shotgun, Ryan. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. 2 catches now in this divisional round matchup. That one, a first down. You ready for a Captain Obvious comment?
Let's go. Go with it, please.
He had the 5 picks last week. He's got to be much more pleased. Just the 1 interception. They've got the lead here in the 4th.
And not only is he pleased, his entire team is. Because throwing those 5 interceptions affects everyone. That's extra work for your defense and not enough possessions for your offense. He's flipped that ratio around in this game.
Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. We're not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. A handoff, Devontae Freeman. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. Another 13 yards there twice in a row, and they're on the move. Another first down as well.
There we go.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll be taken down at the 34. The All-Pro Von Miller there on the tackle.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
They go down to a knee, and with that, they're off to the NFC title game. So they file for the exits here in silence. And what a job to come in on the road, divisional round of the playoffs, and you get to end it by going down to a knee.
Now their confidence has to be at an extreme high. That's 2 weeks in a row they've gone on the road and gotten it done. They don't care where they go. From here on out, they think they can beat anyone.
Ryan heads down to a knee, and that should wrap this one up. And they're moving on to the conference championship. How about this?
What a tremendous feeling to get to the game that can get you to the Super Bowl. A fantastic season. Unfortunately, for the other team, a tough, tough way for it to end.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. From Los Angeles, so long, everybody.